Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Manchester City versus Liverpool potential title deciding clash. It's obviously taking place tomorrow. It's a huge game. A must win for City in my opinion. In today's video, I'm going to be previewing the game. I'm going to be going through my team selection, a bit about what's gone on in the past between these two teams, who to watch out for, and my score prediction. Before we do get into today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're pushing for 11k subscribers now. We've hit that 10k mark, so let's try and hit 11k as soon as possible. Also, make sure to press that notification bell so you're notified the second I upload and go live. Tomorrow there'll be a lot of live streams for the game, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So anyway, as we move on into today's video, start off with the potential title deciding factor of this game. I do believe tomorrow will have a huge impact on where the title ends up in May. Obviously, City currently lie 5 points behind Liverpool, however, a game in hand. Liverpool sit top of the Premier League. Well, no, Southampton sit top, but obviously Liverpool play tomorrow. So we're 5 points behind Liverpool. A win would take us only 2 points behind the current Premier League champions, with a game in hand against Aston Villa, meaning if we beat Aston Villa and beat Liverpool, we'll be top of the Premier League. I think so far it's pretty fair to say neither team has really turned up to their normal standards. City already getting smacked 5-2 by Leicester. We've drawn to Leeds, we've drawn to West Ham. All games you'd expect City to win in. Liverpool, on the other hand, they've gone and been smacked by Aston Villa, a game you would never have seen coming. And they've drawn to Everton, albeit very unluckily. But they've also had to scrape a lot of wins. We've seen them scrape wins against Leeds, Sheffield United and West Ham, which fair play for winning the games, but normally you'd expect Liverpool to be wiping some of those teams away. Going into Sunday's clash, Liverpool come into this one after a 5-0 win of the week away at Atalanta, which was a very good win. Diego Jota getting the hat-trick in Italy. It was Jurgen Klopp's first away win in Italy, I think. So very good for him. They'll be buzzing after that, a cracking performance for them. See, coming into this one after a 3-0 win against Olympiacos, the scoreline sounds more flattering than it actually was. It was a pretty poor performance on the whole from Pep Guardiola's City side. However, a 3-0 win is never a complaint. City haven't conceded a goal in over 3 games, the first time they've done so since September 2019. So they will be backing themselves defensively, even against a Liverpool side who has just scored 5 goals on Tuesday night. In terms of previous meetings between the two sides, excluding friendlies and community shields, City obviously won the game back in July 4-0. The first game Liverpool played as champions, and City wiped the floor with them. We were a much better team, unlucky not to make it 5-0 later with a Mahrez goal. But before that, we lost 3-1 to them in Anfield in the last game that really mattered. We obviously won 2-1 at home in 2018-19, which was a brilliant game. The Etihad atmosphere was absolutely immense. Sadly, we won't be getting that Etihad atmosphere for the big game tomorrow, as no fans will be allowed in. Before that, we had the 0-0 when Mahrez missed the penalty, and then we lost 2-1 in the Champions League in a game where the referee had an absolute shocker, and yes, I am still hurt about that. In the Premier League, City are normally very good at home against Liverpool, to be fair. Since Pep joined the club, we haven't lost to Liverpool at home in the league. We've obviously beaten them 4-0, beaten them 2-1, beaten them 5-0, and drew 1-1 with them. So very good record for us. I think it's 12-2 on aggregate in the games overall. So very solid. On the whole, Pep has normally got the better of Klopp. I know a lot of people seem to think that Klopp does get the better of Pep a lot, and he does. It's pretty close, but on the whole, I think if you look at their overall aggregate scores and stats, I think Pep has beaten Klopp more times than Klopp has beaten Pep. Anyway, moving on to my starting 11 for tomorrow. There's certain positions that are pretty much fixed, certain positions that could go either way. We're starting a goal, this one is a fixed. It is Edison. In my opinion, one of the best, maybe the best keeper in the world. I know a lot of all Liverpool fans are going to say Alisson is better. I personally like Edison. Brilliant on the ball. This season we've seen his saving has been immense. Games like Leeds, he kept us in the game. Even if he did make the mistake for their goal, his distribution is perfect. Also Arsenal, another game where he kept us in front with those 2 amazing saves from, I think, Saka and Aubameyang. Anyway, moving on now to right back. Again, it's a fixed one. Kyle Walker, been immense this season. Played every single game, or at least featured in every single game so far this season. Played in the week, got subbed off, rested for tomorrow's game. But yeah, he's been immense. Always got that goal against Sheffield United last week. It was a brilliant goal, low driven shot into the far corner. But yeah, he's been immense and he will definitely start. At left back, we've got a position that's slightly more debatable. I'm going with Ake for this one. I know a lot of people will be wanting to see Cancelo future left back, and I agree he has been very good for City so far this season at left back. However, it's all been going forward. He's been playing well against the likes of West Ham and Sheffield United, where they've not really challenged him defensively. And defensively, I do think he's poor. I think his work rate's not quite at it. He doesn't track back very well. And so I think against a team that have got Salah and Mane on the wings, I think it's key to have a more defensive player. So I've gone with Nathan Ake, as he does offer that defensive stability. He's played there before for the Netherlands. He's played there once before for City. And in my opinion, Nathan Ake is the person that should be starting at left back for City tomorrow. The centre-backs, I think, go without saying. Diaz and Laporte, they've been rock solid since joining together. Diaz has come in and he's definitely made an improvement on defence. Tomorrow's the first time he's going to be properly tested. But so far, in a City shirt, he has shown why he's been paid 60 million for. Laporte, obviously, we know how good he is. One of the best defenders in the world. In my opinion, the best left-footed centre-back in the world. But yeah, in my opinion, those two are guarantees for centre-back. In hold midfield, this sort of midfield three is definitely up for debate. I'm going to start with Rodri. A lot of people will not be too keen on that. But in my opinion, in that defence midfield position, I'd rather have Rodri than Gundogan because neither of them are that quick. And I just feel like Rodri's height and strength will be quite a big benefit. Liverpool like to play those balls over the top. The only thing that I think might stop Rodri starting is the fact that obviously Liverpool are very, very quick on the break. Rodri's not so quick. That is his biggest criticism. Had Fernandinho been fit, I probably would have considered putting Fernandinho in this game, or at least on double pivot. However, I've not gone with a double pivot because I hate seeing Rodri and Gundogan play together, and no one else can play in a pivot alongside Rodri. So that's why I've gone with just Rodri in midfield. In the two attacking positions, firstly we'll go with KDB. It's a guarantee, the best player in the team. I don't think he's been fully at it yet this season. He's not shown his best. He's got like 5 assists in all competitions already. Got 2 in the week, even though he wasn't that good. Just shows how good of a player he is. The key thing about KDB though is he can split a team apart with just that one pass. So in my opinion, it's crucial he plays. It's a guarantee he plays though. Hopefully he gets a goal. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a penalty and he steps up and inevitably, hopefully scores it. Joining KDB in that attack midfield role, I've gone with Bernardo. We've not really seen the same Bernardo that we saw in 18-19 yet this season or last season. However, someone like Bernardo is crucial in these games. He always turns up against Liverpool, always seems to score at Anfield. He's got a little bit of rivalry with the Liverpool fans. We saw him tweeting out recently about how pathetic Liverpool fans are, and that was likened by a lot of City fans. And can't forget that 18-19 game when he covered something like 14 kilometres. It's one of the best single performances I've ever seen from a City player. And yeah, that's why I think he should start there, just because of his energy. I feel like he would be more beneficial than someone like Foden in this role. The front three is all pretty questionable. You can change it pretty much quite a lot. Obviously, starting these positions, the options are Foden, Mahrez, Sterling, Jesus, Torres. I think that's the only players that are fit for that role. And we're going to start off on the left wing. I think this one is probably the most definite of the three, is Raheem Sterling. It's more whether he starts on the left or the right. I'd quite like to see him go against Trent. I think Trent's quite poor defensively. I think Sterling would get the better of him. We saw against Liverpool back in July, Sterling absolutely tear apart Trent and Gomez. Obviously, they weren't fully at it. They'd just been drinking all week after they'd won the league. But I still back Sterling to make the most of those two. And so yeah, I would like to see Sterling start on the left-hand side. Hopefully he can get a goal again against his old side, Liverpool. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Ferran Torres. His performances recently have been very, very decent. Played well in the week, got himself a goal. And I quite like to see him on the right-hand side because I feel like he's good through the middle, but he can't fully show himself. When he moved out wide after Jesus came on against Olympiacos, I thought he showed himself in good light. And so yeah, I would quite like to see Torres start on the right. I think he deserves it. And I think he could definitely cause Robertson some problems, and then obviously that means through the middle I'm going with Jesus. The only reason Jesus won't start is if Pep doesn't deem him fit enough, but I thought when he came on against Olympiacos he looked sharp, he looked like energetic, he looked like he was changing the game. So yeah, I'd like to see Jesus start them through the middle. Anyway, that is my starting 11. If I quickly go through it again: Edison, Walker, Ake, Diaz, Laporte, Rodri, Bernardo, KDB, Sterling, Jesus and Torres. I think that's solid. Leave your starting 11s down below in the comments. Now, if we quickly move on to the Liverpool team, I'm not going to go through my team picture for them because I don't know enough about kind of who's fit and who's not. But in terms of just what we need to look at for their team, I think you've got to explore the defence. As we know, it's a weakened defence. There's no Van Dijk. He's gone for the season. That's going to be crucial this year, in my opinion. And they're going to be starting Joe Gomez and another centre-back who's going to be pretty weak. The options there are going to be Nat Phillips, who's played against West Ham last week, who was apparently very good, but you've got to back Jesus, Torres and Sterling to make the most of him. They could start Joel Matip, but he's not played yet this season. He's not been fit. So again, he's not going to be fully match sharp. So again, I reckon our attack can make the most of him. And then there's also the one that played in the week who I've completely forgotten the name of. But there's 3 centre-backs to be playing alongside Joe Gomez, who by himself as well I do not think is actually a very good defender. And so yeah, I think it's crucial that we make the most and exploit that defence. I also think it's important on Sunday that we start quickly. I think a goal in the first 10 minutes could really be huge. So far this season, City have started a lot of games very well, and then in the second half completely dropped off. We cannot afford to do that on Sunday, but I do think we can get maybe a bit more likely get away with that if we start well and put away our chances early on, because that's been probably my biggest criticism of so far this season. We've started well, but we've not made the most of it. We've not scored enough goals, and as a result, in the second half, the other team's been able to get back into the game. Another thing to watch out for Liverpool is obviously, as we know, the pace of Salah and Mane on those wings. We've got pace in that defence now. It's not a rapid defence, but it's not a slow defence either. With Walker, he's faster than any player in the Premier League, in my opinion. So you've got to back him. And Ake, Diaz and Laporte aren't quick, but none of them are slow either. So I'd back them to defend absolutely fine. On the topic of their front three, in my opinion, they probably start with Salah, Mane and Jota. Obviously, Jota had a very good game in the week, bagging a hat-trick against that Atalanta side. So I would not be surprised at all to see him start ahead of Firmino. Maybe we could see Firmino playing that 10 role, but I think it's unlikely. In terms of that midfield as well, no Thiago, that's a massive bonus for us. In my opinion, the second best midfielder in world football. Only Kevin De Bruyne beats him. And so him not being in the team, I think, is crucial and could make a massive impact. The final thing for today's video then is my score prediction. I'm going for a 2-2 tomorrow. I'm going De Bruyne and Torres to score for us and Jota and Salah to score for them. That's my score prediction. Leave yours down below in the comments. Make sure you leave a like on the stream and make sure to leave a like on the video if you haven't already, and press that subscribe button. I will be back tomorrow with a pre-match live stream, a live watch along, and an after-match live stream. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And anyway, I'll see you guys then for the big game, Manchester City versus Liverpool tomorrow. Come on, City.